Okay, hello everyone. We are talking about natural numbers and integers in this section under intermediate algebra. You can go to the website, click on the intermediate algebra link, and work the exercises. Alright, first thing I want to do is get some definitions out of the way. And so this section is over natural numbers and integers. But some of you might be asking, what in the world is a natural number? Well, a natural number, the number 1 is a natural number. And that's supposed to be a comma there. The number 2, 3, 4, 5, commas are getting bigger, whatever. Alright, I'm going to indicate 3 dots here, which means that we can just keep on going on and on and on. For example, 10,000 is a natural number. Now, I'm going to enclose this in curly braces. So this is considered to be the set of natural numbers, and it's usually denoted with a boldface N. So this is the set of natural numbers. What's not in this set? Well, notice 0 is not an element. This is some notation here. See, this means not an element. Whoop, got to put a line through it to mean not. It's not an element of the natural numbers. 0 is not in there, and neither is a half. Right? This is a fraction. That's known as a rational number. Alright, let's extend the natural numbers and let's add 0. So we're going to put 0 in this set now. But this set is no longer the set of natural numbers, just because we added 0. And I'm going to put dot, 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 indicating it goes on and on and on. Okay. Boy, that looks like a square bracket. That's supposed to be a curly bracket there. Okay, we put our sets, we put curly brackets on the outside. Okay, this is the set of whole numbers, and I'm just going to label it with a W. This is the set of whole numbers. When we add 0 to the set of natural numbers, now we get the set of whole numbers. Now, let's go ahead and extend our set some more, and this set, which is the letter Z here, now I'm going to say a dot, dot, and then I'm going to say -3, -2, alright, we're counting backwards, -1, 0, 1, my pen is not writing very well today, 1, 2, 3, we'll make it look symmetrical here, and throw 3 dots in here. Wow, that's a terrible bracket. Anyway, curly brace. So this is the set, that looks supposed to be a 1 here. This is the set of integers. Okay, so we have the set of natural numbers. We add 0 to it. There's the set of whole numbers. And then we got all of their opposites, their negatives, right? -1, -3, so forth. Okay, -99 is an element of Z. Even though I didn't write it in here, it's in here. See, these 3 dots are indicating it's going -4, -5, -10, -100, -1 trillion, and so forth, right, in that direction. Okay, so this is the set of integers. So let's go back. Natural numbers, set of whole numbers, and set of integers. And this set here is going to be the set that we're going to be working with in this section. Now let me just draw a quick picture here. So this is a diagram, and what I've got here is this is the entire set of integers, and then the subset of the integers is the set of whole numbers. Okay, that's a subset of Z, and then this set inside of here, which is all contained in W, is the set N. Now, of course, remember that 0 is the only thing that's out here, and then N inside of this circle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so forth. And then the stuff that's out here is all the negatives, right? -1. So this is kind of a picture you can draw of to get an idea of the relationship between integers, whole numbers, and natural numbers. Alright, moving right along. Now let's talk about the operations. We're going to continue on and actually work some problems now. Okay, well, let's just start with this one. Oh, and first off, by the way, I'm on my website, which is at mathfix.com. That's phix.com. And what we've got here is we've got a minus, or I should say a negative, and then in parentheses a 24. So this basically simplifies down to negative 24. We just drop the parentheses and we put negative 24. Okay, just so you can see what's going on here. Over on the right hand side I have different levels. So we're starting with level 1 here, and then we're going to work our way down on the right hand side. So let's click it again. Okay, unfortunately I can't get everything on the screen here. Okay, so we have a negative, and then in parentheses we have another negative. Right? So a negative and a negative becomes positive. So this just becomes 12. Let's check that. And that is correct. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Alright, we have 11 plus, and then we have in parentheses here a negative 42. Well, if we were to drop these parentheses, a plus and a negative becomes negative. Let's go ahead and go to the marker board. Okay, so let's see. Let me write out a different one here on the screen. So if I had a minus 38 plus, and then in parentheses I put, let's say, a negative 43. Close parentheses. Now if I had to rewrite this, and we want to drop these parentheses here, this becomes a negative 38 minus 43. Okay, so a plus and a negative inside, we drop the parentheses and it becomes a minus. So I'm going to take it that you know how to come up with the answer here, negative 38 minus 43. Your answer is going to be a negative. Alright, let's work another one here. If I had a negative and then a negative 12, okay. So we have a negative, or we have a negative basically, and a negative becomes positive. So that simplifies down to just 12. A negative becomes positive. But remember, if this were negative and the inside is positive, now of course we don't put a plus sign for positive. So this is going to simplify down to negative 12. Alright. Let's I don't know, let's see here. Let's work a little bit more complicated one. We have a parentheses, negative 22, okay, minus 28, minus 22. Okay, so the inside's going to be a negative answer, and then this is going to be, we have a minus 22, so our answer is going to end up being negative. Let's see if we can quickly come up with the answer here. 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, so that's 50, right? So it's going to be a minus 50, and then a minus 22, and I'll let you come up with that. It's going to be a negative. I don't know, I'll help you out here. 5, 6, 7, 72. Right, negative 72. Okay, let's do one more here. 30 minus, and 3 plus 7. Right, so this becomes 30 minus 10. Okay, so we do what's in parentheses first here. And of course that's just a 20. Alright, these problems are going to get progressively a little bit more difficult. Alright, let's look at this one here. We have 35 minus, and then in parentheses, I'm going to have a negative 38 plus 20. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what the answer is. The answer is 53. Right? So we want to do what's in parentheses first. Okay, and so it looks like the difference is 18, negative 18. Is that right? 20, 30, negative 18. And then of course we have this minus out here. So if I were to put a parentheses around this and put that minus there, and we have 35. So to rewrite this, okay, this would end up becoming 35 plus 18. And this should end up becoming 53, unless I did something terribly wrong, but I do believe 3. Let's see, 4, 5, yeah, 53. Alright, let's look at another one. Okay, so we have, let's look at what we got in parentheses. We got 30 plus, in parentheses here, I've got a negative 32. And of course, that's all in parentheses. We have a negative outside, then minus 28. So we want to work at what's inside our innermost parentheses first. Let's look at this in here. So I can rewrite this as 30 minus 32. Alright, so this becomes 30 minus 32, and then we're going to put parentheses around all that. It's 28. And 30 minus 32 is going to end up being negative 2. Minus 28. And so we have a negative and a negative, so that makes that a positive 2. 2 minus 28. And that is going to be equal to a negative 26. Okay, so we work with what's in parentheses first and then kind of work our way out. Not too bad. Let's look at another one. Alright, goal is to get this to equal to 67. So let's see if that's true. Well, we've got 49 minus 12, so we want to get that first. Okay, so let's see, 4 minus 1 is 3, 9 is 37. Alright, so this is 37 here. Now we got this minus still. Now we could put parentheses around this, but I'm just going to go ahead and drop the parentheses and go ahead and put the minus there. Alright, so we have a negative 30 minus 37, so 3 and 3 is 6. So we're going to end up with negative 67. Now I am going to go ahead and put a parentheses around this one. Right, and then a negative and a negative is positive, so we're left with 67. So there you go. That's what our answer is, 67. Okay, so looking at this one here quickly. We've got, looking at our parentheses, the whole thing is in parentheses, it looks like. Okay, by reading our parentheses here. So we get negative 47 plus 10 is a negative 37. Alright, and what is this, 563. Okay, and then so we have plus plus 63. And remember, this is all in parentheses now, and you have this negative outside. And so we should end up with a negative 26. So this is going to end up being 26 inside, but then we have the minus out here, and so we're left with a negative 26. If everything's done right. Okay, let's look at another one. So we have 6 minus 36 plus 15 plus, and then 6 plus 13. Close parentheses, close another parentheses, and close another parentheses. So the idea here is we want to look inside the innermost parentheses and work our way out. So first, let's look at this here. So 6 plus 13 is 19. And then we have 15 here. We have the 36 still out here, which we just continue to rewrite. So that's where we're at. And of course we have still the 6 minus out here. So now we're going to go with the 15 plus the 19. So that's going to be 34, right? And then we have this plus. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this parentheses here. Plus the 36. And the 6 minus. Okay, now we have the 36 plus 34. So let's see, 6 and 4 is 10. So that's a 100. Right, so this is 70. So we have 6 minus 70, and that's going to be equal to a negative 64. Hopefully I did the arithmetic right there. Okay, let's look at another one. Alright, so this is going to be kind of a long one here. 19 plus 26 minus 10, and we're going to close parentheses and then close them again, minus, where are we at, 39 minus 10 minus 49. Okay, so we have 26 minus 10, and that's going to end up becoming 16, right? And then 19 plus 16. Now, so all of this is, we got a negative outside, so I put a parentheses, put the negative sign, minus. Right, and then we have 39 minus, we have a 10 minus 49, so that's going to be a negative 39. Alright, so remember a minus and a minus makes that a plus, so that becomes 39 and plus 39. And I think I'm going to let you finish the rest. I'll give you the answer and then you try to get there. So I helped you out a little bit. Alright, so put a minus sign here, then we got a negative here. 19 plus 16. Man, this is kind of sloppy. Okay, so our answer should be negative 113. Okay, so I helped you get halfway there. You should try to finish the rest. Okay, so we're going to switch gears here and talk about multiplying integers together. And let's just start with something simple. Now, we've kind of already been doing this, but kind of not. So we have two negative numbers, and when we multiply two negative numbers together, we get a positive number. So this is negative times a negative, right? So that becomes positive, and that would be a positive 35. So if I had, for example, 8 times a negative 7, we have a positive and a negative, right? So we end up with a negative number. Negative 56. What if we had three negative numbers? For example, how about a negative 11 times a negative 46 times a negative 24? So we have a negative times a negative, and that's a positive. So this whole thing here becomes a positive number, and a positive times a negative is a negative. And so if we multiply 11 times 46 times 24, we should get negative 12,144. Okay, what if I had 38 times negative 29 times a negative 22? Okay, so we have a positive times a negative, and that would be negative, and a negative times a negative is positive. And so this becomes 24,244. Now, of course, I'm not doing this in my head, right? Wow. I'm not even sure. I wish I could say I could do this in my head. But, right, so I just plugged this stuff into the calculator. The whole idea here is what do we get when we multiply two negatives together, or a positive and a negative? I'm trying to get our signs down. Okay, let's look at a little bit more complicated one. And what about if we had a negative 12 times 32 times a negative 8, and then we said plus negative 12 times negative 8. Alright, well, I'm just going to tell you that the answer is a positive 3,168. So you need to try to get that, right? So we have a negative and a times a positive times a negative. So this is all going to become a positive number. So you're just multiplying 12 times 32 times 8. And then this is a negative 12 times a negative 8. Right? And a negative is positive. So you just have 12 times 8. So we get those two numbers. We add them together, and we should get 3,168. Okay, before I go, I want to talk about exponents. This guy right here can be rewritten as negative 3 times 3. So you can think of this part here as being in parentheses, and 3 times 3 is 9, so the answer is negative 9. However, if I did this and put parentheses around this, what this means is this is negative 3 times negative 3. So notice the difference with the parentheses, without the parentheses. So this becomes 3 times 3 is 9, and it's a negative times a negative. So that becomes a positive. 3 to the 0, any number raised to the 0 power is 1. Okay, so just kind of touching on powers here. Right, so if this was a 5 here, it'd be negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, right? 5 times, and so forth. Alright, go to the website and work on the exercises.